Grenada facing Curaçao here. This is match day number 3 with both of these squads virtually tied in the middle of Group B as they look to advance to League A for next year's edition. I'm Steve Schlanger. Glad to have you with us. As usual, it is a hot day on the island in the Caribbean. Partly sunny skies, temperature right around 80 degrees. Curaçao sitting in second place in Group B of League B, and the only thing separating them from third place Grenada is 2 points on goal differential, as they both have a record of 1 win and 1 loss coming into this match day 3. Curaçao leading Grenada by the 2 on goal difference, and you see the standings right there. It is St. Lucia, the nation that is hosting this current window of matches. They are at the top of the group, unbeaten with 2 wins and no losses. St. Martin at the bottom of the group with no wins and 2 defeats so far. And not a very hefty crowd, as you can tell here at this Darren Sammy Cricket Stadium on the island of St. Lucia. This venue, built back in 2002, one of the best of its kind on the islands in the Caribbean. Seats about 13,000, but that is largely for the cricket matches. They don't have a ton of football matches here, but over the course of these next few days, they will be hosting matches here in Group B with St. Lucia as the host nation, Curaçao and St. Martin also taking part. These 2 teams that we feature here today, Curaçao and Grenada, will also turn around and play each other again on Monday on the very same pitch on match day number 4. And now as the officials gather and other assorted personnel just waiting the arrival of the teams here at the Darren Sammy Cricket Stadium. All the substitutes coming out first, and then it will be the officials leading the starting lineups onto this field. One of the unique features about the competition in League B this year is the fact that you do have one centralized venue hosting multiple matches in a given window. We saw that back in September and now again here in October. It'll also be the case a month from now in the final window of the year in November. It cuts down on travel costs and logistics and the sort of planning for nations like part in this competition. And now the 2 teams coming out onto the pitch here for match day 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Curaçao. national anthem of Grenada.
The national anthems for both Curaçao and Grenada, with Curaçao in the white, Grenada in the red on this Friday afternoon. 2 matches for each team in the group during the course of the next few days, both being played here in St. Lucia, as we get set to take a look at the starting 11 for Grenada, who are coached by Charlie Joseph, and just taking over for Terry O'Connor recently. O'Connor, the native of Leeds in the UK, had been here a year and a half, but now Joseph just taking over recently, and this is his first competitive match in charge. Aaron P. is the captain, and this is a familiar starting 11 they've used through the first 2 match days of this competition. Our officials from North America, John Freeman of the U.S. takes charge. He is the head referee. Freeman, who has been a referee in most of the major competitions in the U.S., including Major League Soccer, Leagues Cup, the USL, the NWSL on the women's side, and now here in Concacaf in this Nations League event. Eloy Rome is the captain for Curaçao, the keeper in blue, and the mentioned Pierre, number 5 in red, the captain for Grenada. As we take a look at the starting lineup for Curaçao here, Dick Advocat is the 77-year-old Dutch manager. He's been the manager for his home nation on 3 different occasions, as he has been the head coach for the Netherlands, now in his first year here on the island, managing Curaçao. He's also managed the national sides of Russia, Belgium, Iraq, and he has been more than around the block coaching many prestigious clubs in Europe. So the first of 2 meetings over the next 4 days between these 2 sides, Grenada and Curaçao. A hot Friday afternoon on the mountainous volcanic island of St. Lucia in the Caribbean. Concacaf Nations League matchday number 3, League B and Group B. Whoever comes away with at least a point from this match will solidify their spot in second place in the group. And apparently an issue with the netting here that the officials and the keeper are looking over here before the start of this match. And away we go. Grenada, again in the red with Curaçao the white, underway on match day 3 from St. Lucia. Curaçao and Grenada tied on points and in record in Group B and League B. Curaçao, though, a slim margin in second place over Grenada, the nation that's in third. Even though they have each won one and lost one, Curaçao has a better goal difference by 2 over Grenada. Curaçao to this point has scored 5. They've conceded 2. Grenada has scored 3 and also allowed 2. So not much separating these two nations here as they meet in the first 2 matches over the next 4 days on this very field on the island of St. Lucia. Curaçao, a team that likes to play forward, press, high tempo. Grenada, very good in possession. This is a technically sound squad. And they will invite the pressure from Curaçao, feeling that they can play through them and beat them in possession as well as on the counter. Curaçao here with the early possession, coming off a loss on match day 1 to St. Lucia 2-1. Even though they outshot St. Lucia and had twice the amount of possession, still lost by 1. They then came back with a vengeance to beat St. Martin on match day 2. 4-0 was the shutout with 4 goals from 4 different goal scorers. In that opening match, St. Lucia with 3 goals on only 2 shots on frame. So they capitalized with their opportunities, and that made the difference in that match. Curaçao with the early possession here. And Grenada content to sit back, trying to go long and over the top and right into the arms of the keeper, Reese Charles Cook. His brother also plays on this Grenada team, Reagan Charles Cook. This will belong to Curaçao here. Just over 2 minutes gone by on a sunny, warm Friday afternoon. Curaçao, despite sitting in second place, has the most goals in the group so far. Here's an opportunity with some daylight. Curaçao looking to build here. Joshua Brené with a pass errantly wide of his target and out for a throw-in. Brené, one of the top offensive players on this Curaçao squad, he got the only goal in the loss on match day 1. That 2-1 defeat to St. Lucia. Grenada looking to get on the ball here and establish some kind of rhythm. It's always difficult when you're playing defense right from the jump and you settle into some kind of a low to mid block, and then the ball or an opportunity to possess for the first time. Trying to find your shape and any kind of flow can be a challenge. And sometimes you see cases just like that where you get impatient and you go long a little too early. That's the hardest thing, to be patient in possession when you haven't had much of it. Curaçao, La Familia Azul, ranked number 88 in the world. They've been as high as 68 in the world. They have never lost to Grenada. And a chance for the opening goal here as they build into the final third. Really turning the screws and applying the early pressure here. Leandro Bacuna tries to play between the lines. It's going to come right back to him. Bacuna has the second most appearances all time for Curaçao, playing alongside his brother in the starting lineup, Juninho Bacuna. Now a change of fields here. Kenji Gora going 1v1. And Grenada pinned back in the early go. First corner kick of the match. And the only two previous meetings between these sides, Curaçao has won both. In swinger. And Grenada just packed around their box. Just can't do enough. And Curaçao keeps coming. Bakuna again. And they'll reset near midfield. Even though Curaçao is a nation known more for baseball, this has been a very good football playing island over the last few years. In fact, the loss to St. Lucia back in September on match day 1 of this year's Nations League is their only loss in the last calendar year. The last time they lost was just over 1 year ago. They have won 3 of 4 and have only that one loss in their last 7 coming in here. So pretty good form as they look to climb up towards the top of the group. With one more window of games to be played here in the group stage, that'll be next month. And Grenada now, first real chance to attack on the counter. But look at all the white shirts getting back. There are 6 of them retreating defensively. While all of these matches for this group in this window are being played here in St. Lucia, all of the matches in the first window that covered match days 1 and 2 back in September, those were played in Grenada. So they were hosting those, and now it's St. Lucia's turn, and hoping to take advantage of their home stadium here to cement their place at the top of the group. 2 wins from 2 matches so far. They take on St. Martin twice over the next 4 days, the same way that Curaçao and Grenada are meeting twice over these next several days. All of these matches being played here at the Darren Sammy Cricket Stadium in St. Lucia. Long ball played ahead for Gora. Couldn't control it. Now Grenada trying to play out of the back here. Aaron Pierre, the captain, working it towards midfield and then trying to go long here. And the flag was up. A delayed reaction, but that is the first offsides of the match. Dick Advocat, again, the 77-year-old manager for Curaçao in his first year as the manager for this nation, has been the head coach of teams like Rangers, PSV, and several nations in Europe and the Middle East. Grenada looking to play quickly. And the first time that Curaçao is called for an offsides. So back-to-back at opposite ends. Both teams whistled for offsides here in the 9th minute of this scoreless first half. And now the Grenada throw. Josh Gabriel. After Curaçao retreats. trying to play in transition. Grenada doing a good job, though, recovering. Trying to play it through. They almost caught a break, and they do get a foul and a free kick here. With Gervain Castanier taken down. He's still down, but it's going to be the first free kick of the match. And for Curaçao, maybe a first good opportunity to go for goal here. Heavy foul that time by Josh Gabriel, and Castanier, who had one of the 4 goals in the win over St. Martin on match day 2, now getting back on his feet. This time trying to play over the top. And Gora couldn't corral it. Now Grenada forced to play mostly defense here in the first 10 minutes of this match. There is the new head coach for this Grenada side, Charlie Joseph. One of the difficult things to come in as a new manager when you have a competition like this coming up is to get enough time to implement your ideas, your philosophies, and get to know everybody and to have those relationships so where you can be as effective as you want to. Too many new things to implement to be as successful as you might eventually be, but it's always a work in progress. Throw in here for Curaçao. Brené. Oh, trying to play it through. That was a good idea to find Gore, but just couldn't slot it all the way through to him. Now Grenada trying to come back the other direction. And trying to settle things down somewhat too. If nothing else, just to take Curaçao out of their rhythm, get them unbalanced somewhat. But then inevitably, the way things have been developing, Grenada is just trying to play long, and there's just no one on the end of it. So it winds up back in possession of Curaçao. And here they come again, trying on the overlapping run to find Kenji Gore. That's a good sequence and a real opportunity for Curaçao here, led by Floranas. And the appeal for the handball there on Jermaine Francis winds up as a corner kick instead. First one from that opposite side. Curaçao looking to get on the board here in this 15th minute. They have dominated possession to this point. Still don't have an official shot on target as of yet, though. Good delivery. And they're creating chances. Juninho Bacuna, the brother of Leandro, trying to get on the end of that one. Grenada starved for answers right now. This Curaçao team that has only one loss in their last 7. Not a bad history behind them either. They won the Caribbean Cup back in 2017. They've been in the Gold Cup on 2 occasions. Best ever result was reaching the quarterfinals back in 2019. Didn't play their first official game as a nation until 2011. So they don't have a long history, but a pretty good one for a team that hasn't been around that long. Free kick coming up here, though, for Grenada. Their best opportunity so far in this first half. Difficult angle to defend. Now, in the end, just not dangerous enough. Elroy Lerome, very calm and poised at the back. Curaçao has the feel of a team that can be dangerous in so many different ways and can strike quickly, either through possession in a patient buildup or going direct, vertical, and north and south, just like this, and very quickly. Kenji Gora trying to turn the corner. Now using their pace, they have plenty of it, especially on the flanks, and another corner kick coming up. So Curaçao is continuing the drumbeat here on offense. Still haven't got a real quality chance on goal, despite the possession and despite the amount of time they spent in the final third. Don't have that one authentic, genuine opportunity. Still in search of that here. Now the end product in the final third has been lacking so far in the first 18 minutes. Now Grenada getting forward, but just not enough numbers up the pitch to make a difference. Curaçao defending with sometimes 6 back. So Grenada just doesn't have the mathematical advantage to be competitive right now. They need to get more red shirts forward. Trying to swing it in. Oh, the best chance so far for Grenada. And that'll be a free kick coming out. Now, Juninho Bacuna still down. Fouled in his own area. And it was Benjamin Etienne who got him. '20th minute, still no score. And now bursting forward, a chance for Curaçao. Now Juninho Bacuna, after the injury, all of a sudden found himself just flying forward. Now Grenada now looking to take charge here as they look to establish something in the final third. Benjamin Etienne, he's been active up front. And now starting to get more players up into the final third as well as they look to generate some offense here. They are without a shot on goal as well. Dick Advocat certainly has the experience to coach this Curaçao team up. Given all of the depth of his background, the scope of everywhere he's worked. A lot of different styles with a lot of different players. And looking for something that might make the difference here today as they look for their second win in group play. And a dust up here at midfield. So the free kick will take place here as we get another look at it. Now Juninho Bacuna certainly not happy. So Grenada now with the feint. And now going short along the sideline. Swung in, top of the box, played back out. No, just not sharp enough right now here in the final third. Now Etienne slid his pass past the intended target, played up the right wing now, but Grenada back to recover. It is Cook. Just trying to go long, but no one on the end of it for Grenada here. As we move past the midpoint of this first half, still looking for our first goal and still looking for our first shot on goal for both teams. Grenada playing quickly here, and they'll have but a free kick from a pretty interesting spot. They are starting to grow into this game. After it was all Curacao in possession through the first 10 minutes or so, Grenada has slowly starting to get on the ball more, starting to play more in their opponent's half, and now a free kick coming up here, and it looks like it is going to be Jermaine Francis standing over it. And that's headed on and just over the bar. That was a good run from Aaron Pierre, the captain. Now, Curaçao involved in World Cup qualifying at the moment in the second round. And they are a perfect 2-0 with wins over Barbados and Aruba so far. They lead their group on goal differential. Interestingly enough, St. Lucia is also in their group, as they are in their group for the Nations League as well. So they will play them in their next World Cup qualifying match, which won't come until next summer, as the Nations League is taking priority right now on the international calendar for these nations here in the Caribbean. Now from the top of the box, Curaçao looking to reset. Now the game has evened up somewhat over the last 15 minutes or so after it was all Curaçao in the early going. Grenada, you can tell, has kind of gone through the gears, and they've been growing in confidence to play higher up the field. The Spice Boys, as they are known, opened up play in the group stage with a 2-0 win over St. Martin. They were outshot and had less possession in that match, but still got the shutout. Very opportunistic offensively in that game. They then lost to St. Lucia by the same score as Curaçao did, 2-1, but that was on match day 2. That was just as frustrating as their first game was opportunistic, as they outshot St. Lucia and had twice the possession of St. Lucia as well, as that one is chipped over everyone and still wound up on the losing end. So to play a team like St. Lucia that has been perfect so far in this group, to have that kind of numerical and statistical advantage and come away with a loss was very disappointing. So they were opportunistic and somewhat fortunate in their opening match to beat St. Martin, and then just as frustrated to lose on match day 2. So each side with 1 win and 1 loss as they play here, both looking for their first shot on goal here on match day 3. Well, Grenada, unlike Curaçao, completely the opposite when it comes to their form over the last year or so. You've got Curaçao winners of 3 of 4 with only 1 loss in their last 7 and only 1 loss in the last calendar year, as Curaçao builds now, looking for an opportunity, 2v2. Now Brené try to cut it back. and it winds up as a throw-in. Should have kept on going, but tried to slow his run and potentially cut it back, and that allowed Aaron Pierre, the captain, to recover defensively. Going back to what I was saying about Curaçao, with only one loss in the last calendar year, Grenada on the opposite end of that spectrum, with just one win in their last 14 and one win in over 2 years total. Outside of the win over St. Martin back on match day 1, their only victory prior to that in that stretch was back on October the 1st of 2022. So it's been a while. And this is a team in Grenada that has not been very good defensively. They've allowed at least 2 goals in 10 of their last 14. So far, though, no score here, with about a quarter of an hour left to go in the first half. Well, every time they start to make a move, it's that final touch that seems to do them in, and now Grenada trying to counter. One thing Curaçao does very well, though, is they recover when they lose the ball, and their opponents, and in this case, Grenada tries to play in transition. They do get back quickly. It'll be interesting to see what these two teams learn from this game when they meet again on Monday back here at this venue. This is only the third all-time meeting between the two nations, and so their third and fourth get-togethers are going to come in a span of just 4 days. It's not often you have that type of opportunity to play a team in a competition like this multiple times in such a short stretch. So it can provide a unique opportunity depending on what you get out of a game like this, as long as you're able to apply it to the next one. Now Curaçao on the go once again. And here is Gora cutting it back in. Looks to get it back. Buzzing around the top of the box. This is Margarita. And out for a corner. Benjamin Etienne defensively, their number 2 for Grenada, has been busy. Curaçao has been a handful coming down that left-hand flank. Most of their attacks have come down that left-hand side. Hardly any have come from the right. Towards the back post, volleyed up, and out for a corner from the opposite side this time. Not enough in swing, but it does make it through to Bakuna on the opposite side. And once again, a chance goes by the boards for Curaçao. Now Grenada, currently ranked number 173 in the world. They were as high as number 88, which is exactly where Curaçao is right now. But for Grenada, that ranking came way back in 2009. They have dropped over the years. As I mentioned, just one win in their last 14, one victory in 2 years' time. And I noted earlier how they typically concede multiple goals per game. They also have trouble scoring. They've been shut out in half of their last 8. But while Curaçao has played in just 2 Gold Cups, Grenada has been in 3, never made it out of the group stage, most recently competing in the Gold Cup back in 2021. And that is one of the interesting things about the Nations League. It does allow qualifying for next summer's Gold Cup competition. Inside of the final 10 minutes of this first half. Neither team featuring the end product right now to make a difference and even to test the opposing keeper. This is the 4th edition of the Nations League. The U.S. has won all previous 3 competitions. And the U.S., because of their pedigree, won't begin play until the quarterfinal round, which begins next month. In their first competitive game under their new manager, Mauricio Pochettino, will be in this Nations League competition. It'll be on November the 18th in St. Louis. The finals of this competition next year will be at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. And that's rolled in pretty harmlessly on the keeper, Reece Charles Cook. Now, Janino Bacuna, number 7 there in white, has probably been the most dangerous player so far, along with Joshua Brené and Kenji Gora getting forward for Curaçao. But that's not saying a lot. Their opportunities really haven't been all that authoritative. Free kick here for Grenada. The U.S., as defending champions, they are in League A. This League B, which these 2 teams, Grenada and Curaçao, are a part of, features 16 teams. They're divided into 4 groups of 4 teams and playing a total of 6 matches. 2 in September, 2 here in the month of October, and then 2 in November, which features every team playing each team in its group twice. And for each FIFA window, as I mentioned earlier, you have matches at a centralized venue for each group instead of the previous home and away format. So here in this October window, everybody here in this Group B are playing 2 matches at this stadium in St. Lucia. And a player for Grenada now down, taking an awkward fall at midfield. That was a non-contact foul. It looked like just slipping and maybe stretching his leg out in an awkward fashion. So the first extended injury that we have seen that the trainers have had to come out and deal with. Yeah, see, it's just a slip there by Benjamin Etienne. Always tricky when you slip on some unstable turf and it's not a contact situation, but your leg bends awkwardly the wrong way. Knees, ankles, legs. That can be a recipe for a serious injury. So a de facto hydration break here. Even though there was not a cooling break scheduled, with the temperature just south of 80 degrees when this match began. And now inside of the final 5 minutes of the first half, plus stoppage time. And we'll restart at midfield. Well, over the second portion of this opening frame, it's been pretty even between these two sides. And there's the man who was just on the deck a few moments ago, Benjamin Etienne. Seems back and all right after the medical staff came out. And a free kick for Grenada. Jermaine Francis over to take it. Kind of far out to go for goal, but an opportunity to lift it into the box perhaps and create a chance off a second ball. And like Curaçao, Grenada also involved in the second round of World Cup qualifying, but not as successful as the nation of Curaçao, where they've won each of their first two matches. Grenada has lost one and tied one. They drew with Trinidad and Tobago and lost to Costa Rica. And now that is Kenji Gora slow to get up. Neither nation has ever played in a World Cup. And an opportunity for Grenada ends with another errant pass. Now more space in the midfield for Curaçao to operate. Now Gora. And the offsides flag is up. Inside the final minute of the 45, and then we'll see how much stoppage time is added. Shouldn't be a whole lot. Now, neither team with a shot on goal so far here in this first half. Curaçao started strongly. Grenada has come on. Pretty even here in the last portion of this first half, but Now, the primary theme has been neither team has really been all that dangerous in the final third, not creating genuine scoring opportunities.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official on the sideline has indicated that there will be a minimum of 2 minutes of added time.
Just 2 added minutes. Now an opportunity for Grenada here. Trying to get numbers quickly up the field. This is Reagan Charles Cook. He goes down. Reagan Charles Cook, one of the most dynamic offensive players on this Grenada squad. Had one of the 2 goals in the win over St. Martin. One of their top goal scorers. And now here, in the final seconds of this first half, another dangerous free kick for Grenada. They've had several of these here in the last 20 minutes. An opportunity to attack if they can get someone crashing the goal. Last half minute of this first half. Can the first shot on goal become the first goal here in stoppage time at the end of the opening frame? Reagan Charles Cook on the free kick. Curls it towards the back post, headed up into the air. And then volleyed away, but totally shanked. And that's going to be a corner kick. We're already past the allotted stoppage time, but we'll see if they make the opportunity to allow this corner kick for Grenada here before the end of the first half. Well, looks like they will. Line drive comes in, and from the back post, it is blasted over the goal, and that'll take us to the end of the first half. So, Grenada starting to work their way into this match after about the first 15 minutes or so, and they look the more lively team, generating more chances late. Neither team all that prolific in front of goal, but Grenada certainly much better than with the way they started in the opening 15 minutes of this match. But in the end, after the opening 45, it's still no score. Curaçao and Grenada from here in St. Lucia.
To watch the highlights of this game in our official YouTube channel at Concacaf. Don't miss the best moments of Concacaf games and the tournament. Follow us on TikTok at Concacaf.
Teams coming back now for the start of this second half. Grenada and Curaçao, each with 1 win and 1 loss through the first 2 matches in group play of Group B and League B here at the Concacaf Nations League for this year. Curaçao in second place, Grenada in third, and that's just because of goal difference. Curaçao has scored 2 more goals than Grenada through the first 2 matches, while they each have allowed the same number. So whatever happens in this second half could certainly swing the positions here, with Grenada potentially leaping over Curaçao into second place. Curaçao a little slower to get back onto the field. Now, night has fallen in St. Lucia, and we are underway in the second half. Only 3 total shots on goal between these 2 teams in the first half. It was a promising start for Curaçao before Grenada found their way into the game, and pretty balanced and even. As the second half gets underway, no team really with the advantage or the momentum in any discernible way. Third all-time meeting between these sides. Curaçao has won the first 2. And in fact, one of those 2 previous meetings, the very first one, was kind of historic, because for Grenada, it was their largest ever loss in the history of their nation. Curaçao beat them 10-0. That was in the Nations League back in 2018. And for Curaçao, that's also their biggest ever win over any team. But 2 teams coming into this October span of games, particularly different form. Curaçao with 3 wins in the last 4, only 1 loss in the last calendar year, while Grenada has only 1 win in the last 14, and that is also their only victory in the last 2 calendar years. But all square on the scoreboard through the first half here, in the first of 2 meetings over the next 4 days. Again, it's a very interesting setup. Concacaf Nations League, and with the 6 matches that are played in each group here in League B on match days 3 and 4, you have 2 matches against the same team at the same venue as well. Free kick here for Grenada. So that means Curaçao and Grenada play today and Monday. Lucia and St. Martin, the other 2 teams in this group, also play twice over the next 4 days here at this stadium. Slowly chipped in. Curaçao easily able to clear. Grenada forced back to midfield. So they'd only met 2 times prior to today, but now these nations meeting twice in the next 4 days here in Group B of the CONCACAF Nations League. Grenada towards the back post. The chip misses its intended target. Run down, and now from the top of the box, that's a good cutback. And a tremendous save by Eloy Rome, the best save from either keeper in this match. That was virtually point blank. Terrific shot, better save by Rome to keep this at a scoreless 0-0 draw. Wow, Rome with his first significant touch. He came up huge there. Great move by Damian Baker. John. And Rome, with not much reaction time, makes a terrific stop. Second shot on goal for Grenada. Here they come again. But they're not going to get the chance on the foul. It's a free kick at midfield for Curaçao. For Grenada, their first ever international match was 90 years ago this Sunday. So getting set to celebrate a pretty big anniversary. Their first ever major international competition was the Gold Cup back in 2009, the first of 3 Gold Cups that they've been in so far. And that's offsides. The Spice Boys against La Familia Azul. And now Curaçao on the break. Best chance of this second half. And they waste it. Like so many back in the first half, just couldn't get it organized. And the final pass was a little bit behind what they were trying to do here. Leandro Bacuna just doesn't lead his man in stride. He was trying to find Gervain Castanier. But for a corner kick. So a chance to redeem themselves here. First quarter of the second half. Line drive. Basically untouched as it rolls through harmlessly. And it'll be a goal kick. Now, there are 3 different leagues in the Concacaf Nations League, A, B, and C. This is League B, which, like League C, offers promotion and relegation between the leagues, which takes place at the end of the competition. For League B, the group winners are promoted to League A, and the 4th place finishers in each group are relegated to League C. Now, for League A, that is the only league that can challenge for the title. The 5th and 6th place finishers are relegated to League B for the following year, but it's the top teams that advance through to the knockout stages and then eventually make it that far, the final next summer in Los Angeles. But you have to start the competition each year in League A to have a chance at winning the whole thing. If you start in League B or League C, you're only dealing with promotion and relegation, but no chance in that year's competition to win the whole deal. Now Grenada, another chance here from the top of the box. Rome, another terrific stop. He's made 2 in the last 5 minutes. The 2 best shots so far in the second half, both coming from Grenada, and really the 2 best shots of the match altogether. Nothing even close to that from either team back in the first half of play. Let's see. That'll be a whistle. And we're going to get a corner kick. Here was the chance. That's a really good shot there from Damian Baker-John. He had the shot a short time ago. So both of these excellent saves by Rome have come off the same foot. That of Damian Baker-John. So corner kick for Grenada. And here is John. Over to take it. After going short, it's headed out. Long distance effort, and Rome dove to make sure, but that one goes wide for a goal kick. Didn't miss by a whole lot. Worthwhile effort from Ashley Charles. Now Curaçao trying to find their way into the second half. They've been a little disorganized and just not as clean or sharp on the ball as they were in that first half. Their best football was played in the first 10 minutes of the game, but since then, certainly not as good. Trying to go long and direct, but that pass intercepted. Low percentage ball. Now Grenada started slow, kind of on the back foot, playing defensively, absorbing the pressure, but they've been the better team since about the quarter-hour mark of that first half. Looking for their first ever win over Curaçao. It's going to be a heavy challenge and a free kick for Grenada, as Reagan Charles Cook was taken down. It was Urian Gari on the fall. He's coming in hard. Now perhaps worthy of a yellow card. But still, we have not seen a booking in this match to this point. Headed back out. Rome just has to blast it away. And a free kick for Curaçao. So far through the first two matches, Curaçao has 5 total goals from 5 different goal scorers. But so far tonight, without a goal and just 2 shots on target altogether. Looking for their first shot of the second half. Oh, free kick for Curaçao. Haven't had many of these, especially from this sort of position, so they could be aggressive and potentially create a scoring opportunity for themselves. Grenada has had a lot of free kicks from this particular distance, but for Curaçao, they've been few and far between as some substitutes start to get loose. Jeremy Antonis and also Joshua Zimmerman for Curaçao. But a very tempting free kick possibility here as they look to break this scoreless tie here in the second half. It's going to come all the way in on goal, and it turned out to be a rather tricky situation for the keeper, Reese Charles Cook. It wasn't touched, but it was dipping. and was almost in that in-between range where he couldn't catch it on the fly, couldn't get it on the short hop, and had to kind of just bat it away and out of bounds for a corner kick. Not a bad delivery from Leandro Bacuna. Line drive all the way out to the top of the box, flip back in. And no offsides flag. Out. Now Caden Harrick decides to go backwards with it. Now down the left flank. Trying to play between the lines. And Curaçao again, just having difficulty getting the ball into the final third with any kind of intent to attack goal. Again, Curaçao almost exclusively trying to come down that left-hand side. They haven't attacked much at all from the right. Grenada has been able to key in, and now a couple of players down for each team. First for Curaçao, it is Kenji Gore who finally makes it back up, but it looks like the trainers will be called in for Grenada here. We're also going to get our first yellow card too after a foul in the first half. And he's actually going to be the one who gets the card. So literally insult to injury. So another free kick for Curaçao. This time a little further out than the last. And Darius Johnson, it looks like, maybe coming on for Grenada. From the left-hand side, a race to the end line. Cut back. That's good defending. And a free kick for Grenada. Now these two teams, they'll once again play on Monday back here at this venue. And then have two more group matches in November. And their next scheduled international matches will be a return to World Cup qualifying next summer. Now Curaçao kind of making a mess with that. Throw in for Grenada. And our first substitutions now taking place, and it will be for Grenada here, as Damian Baker-John is going to come out. Darius Johnson will replace him. Interesting move here, as John was the player who's had the best chances offensively for Grenada here. Two really good shots requiring excellent saves from Curaçao here in the second half. So without those two shots, Grenada would have no shots on goal so far in the second half. Those were the best opportunities either team has had to score. And this will be a goal kick. So he's gone, and there's his replacement, Darius Johnson, who plays in the United States with Phoenix Rising of the USL. Free kick for Grenada. A good combination play. Poked away. And that will be a corner kick for Grenada. Comes in quickly. Oh, and Rome, another terrific save, point blank. He has made three sensational stops here in the second half. He is the reason we are still scoreless. That's good industrious work there by Jermaine Francis. And now the one-timer in Rome, another stop diving to his left. He has put in a man-of-the-match performance in the second half alone. They went short of the corner and then trying to catch him off guard. And I think that one also got a piece of the bar. So it might have got tipped and then off the crossbar here. And then the one-timer quickly from Ashley Charles trying to bend it around the keeper. But Grenada with a flurry of opportunities here in the second half so far. They have got to be frustrated that they've been held off the scoreboard to this point.
Damian Baker-John entering the game, number 7, Darius Johnson.
Free kick for Grenada. This will be chipped in. And now an opportunity for Charles once again. Tries to play it to that right wing. Maybe ill-advised. It winds up as a throw-in for Curaçao instead.
Ladies and gentlemen, a yellow card issued to player number 15 of Curaçao, Ajani Mata, in the 67th minute.
Now, because we've only played 2 matches in the group phase to this point, here in Group B, everything could change at the end of this 2-match window, with these games being played in St. Lucia, depending on the results of all 4 matches that are being played here at the Darren Sammy Cricket Stadium. You have Curaçao and Grenada playing twice over the next 4 days, and the same case for St. Lucia and St. Martin. St. Lucia leading the group with 2 wins and no losses. Curaçao and Grenada each at 1-1, and St. Martin with an 0-2 record. So things could flip around in a hurry with match days 3 and 4 taking place here this weekend. Curaçao in 2nd place, Grenada in 3rd. Though they're tied on points with a record of 1-1. Curaçao has the better goal differential by 2. So that's the only thing keeping them in 2nd and Grenada in 3rd. Here is the sub, Johnson. Darius Johnson going 1v1 and earning a throw-in. Jeremy Antoine is going to come on shortly for Curaçao. He will be their first substitution of the match. Now Bakuna in a foot race with Aaron Pierre, and he winds up pushing him, and that gives a free kick over to Grenada. Looks like we'll get the substitution now. And indeed, that'll be the last play of the match for Gervain Castanier, as well as Bakuna. So we have several substitutions coming on. And Levano Chiron, Antony, and also Joshua Zimmerman. So 3 subs for Curaçao. 20 minutes left to go in a scoreless game here in St. Lucia. And it's going to be a free kick for Curaçao. And they're going to have to do this again. They try to play quickly, but they're going to have to set it up here. And it looks like Leandro Bakuna will be the man who is poised to take it. Chips it towards that back post. Couldn't get a runner onto the end of it. And now Johnson plays it into space and tries to run on.
Substitution for Curaçao in the 71st minute. Exiting the game.
That's a good flick.
11, Ajal Margarita. Entering the game.
And now played across, but Rome will come out and scoop it up.
Also exiting the game, number 20, Joshua Burnett. And entering the game, number 8, Levano Chiron.
And now a chance for Curaçao here, but oh, there's nobody there, crashing the goal. They played quick and direct, going vertical, but they didn't have enough players up the pitch. And now coming in, settled down and cleared away. Curaçao looking a little more frisky, though, offensively. Wind starting to also kick up here, as it often does in St. Lucia. Now Johnson brings it down for Grenada. Reagan Charles Cook assessed that last foul. '75th minute, and just about a quarter of an hour left to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the total attendance for today's match is 355. We want to thank all fans for attending the 2024-2025 Concacaf Nations League.
And a free kick for Curaçao. Aaron Pierre not happy with that call. Things have kind of settled down here over the last few minutes. A lot of the game now being played in the middle of the park. Neither team maintaining an extended spell of possession. No doubt some fatigue starting to take effect. Now here's Johnson trying to break. They'll play the advantage here. And now the referee does stop play for a free kick. This one is slid over. And the substitute, Chiron, playing it in, and it's scooped up by Charles Cook. Well, neither team has been shut out so far in the group stage, but shutting out each other here right now as we get deeper into the second half. And again for Grenada, this is a team that has been shut out in 4 of their last 8, and they've allowed at least 2 goals in 10 of 14. Now Janino Bacuna just couldn't get his foot on that one. It goes out for a Grenada throw-in. Well, it's interesting, the better chances coming earlier in the second half, but now it seems like things have kind of died down in terms of shot creation and opportunities for either team. It's kind of been more pedestrian play in the middle of the field. Looking less likely that we're going to get that elusive goal here as this game goes on. 80th minute now. But you never know with fatigue and things that start to accumulate late in games. All it takes is that quick one moment and an opportunity for someone to take advantage. Now Bakuna can't get his foot wrapped around that one. Free kick for Grenada, and they'll try to go quick. So Romar Frank is going to come on for Reagan Charles Cook here shortly. It'll be the second substitution for Grenada. That's a good step. Dispossessed, and then given right back to Curaçao. So now it looks like we make it the substitution. Romar Frank is going to come in. It's going to be Jermaine Francis, actually, who will go out. So Francis will exit, and Frank will make his first appearance here on match day 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitution for Team Grenada in the 81st minute.
Well, if it stays this way, the standings will also stay the same, as Curaçao will remain in second place, Grenada in third, with Curaçao and Grenada tied on points with the exact same record, but Curaçao leading on goal difference by 2, just the way we started. Oh, that's a brilliant run here, developing for Kane Vincent Young, but then he's dispossessed at the top of the box, showing his pace, his speed down that left-hand side, but couldn't convert it into an opportunity offensively. But things starting to open up because of play like that. And more space in the midfield area for each team. And we'll get a free kick coming up. This will be for Curaçao. Now, if it does end in a draw, neither team can move into first place at the end of match day 3. And that can only happen if one team secures all 3 points here in this game. And Curaçao would be the likely candidate to have the best chance, given the fact that they have the most goals of any team in the group so far, including St. Lucia, the team in first place. And Juninho Bakuna coming out, and it's going to be Brantley Kuwas who will take his place for the substitution for Curaçao here in the second half. Now Curaçao on the move, trying to get players in scoring position here from the top of the box. The shot and a save is made by Charles Cook. That's his best of the match so far, but Curaçao looking for another bite of the apple here. Here's a shot swung in, headed straight up and out for a corner kick. So best shot, best save in this end of the field here in the second half so far. Curaçao, maybe their best chance of the entire match, I'd have to say. NG Gore with the Rockets. And Reese Charles Cook on the stop. Corner kick for Curaçao. Final 6 minutes plus stoppage time. Very poor effort, though, from Brantley Kuwas, who literally just checked into the game. Now, this result would certainly go against form for both sides. Curaçao winning 3 of their last 4, only 1 loss in the last 7. Grenada with just 1 win in the last 14. But right now, all square in a scoreless draw in St. Lucia. Curaçao looking for their first ever point. Or I should say Grenada looking for their first ever point against Curaçao. This match certainly has had swings of the pendulum in terms of momentum. It seems like Curaçao has had it the last few minutes after Grenada had it for so long, especially early in the second half when they had a sequence of 4 really good shots on goal. But now in the last few minutes, it's been Curaçao kind of taking charge and starting to grow offensively as we come down to the final minutes of regulation. Free kick for Curaçao coming up. Yellow card issued as well. So Sherelle Floranis goes in the book. Second yellow for Curaçao. Long free kick for Grenada.
Ladies and gentlemen, yellow card issued to player number 5, Sherelle Floranis, from Team Curaçao in the 86th minute of play.
That'll be chipped in. And now a corner kick. Nice job to shield it by Kane Vincent Young. They go short of the quarter. Got an opportunity from this earlier. From the end line, played across, and nobody in a red shirt there at the top of the 18. Curaçao trying to build. If they can get a goal here in these last few minutes, they could conceivably work their way into first place at the end of this international window. Over these next 2 matches in the next 4 days. They've got a corner kick here. There'll be 3 extra minutes added on at the end of the 90. So 4 minutes altogether from here. High, arching, free kick, or corner kick, I should say. Headed straight down, and then volleyed out. Played all the way back in. Headed towards the top of the box. And now the long shot is saved. Rebound is spilled on the rebound. Another save made by Cook. 2 sensational saves back-to-back by Reese Charles Cook. Oh, my word. The 2 best saves of the match at just the right time in the final minute of regulation. Best chances for Curaçao, and now Grenada on the counter. Well, it's a good sequence there as you see the 3 put up, but we hit the 90, 3 extra minutes to be played. Player hobbling for Grenada, but they're in possession here, but not for long. And it's out for a goal kick.
There will be a minimum of 3 minutes of added time in the second.
This was the chance earlier. I mean, a shot from Kuwas, and then on the rebound, how did they miss that? Kuwas first, an excellent shot. And then Joshua Zimmerman came flying in. Should have really put that one away, but Cook, 2 tremendous saves there. So each keeper here in the second half has made a multitude of really good saves to keep it scoreless. Halfway through the stoppage time. Free kick Curaçao with 1 minute left to go. Trying to get everybody up. Kuwas will take this. Looking for a good second ball here. And a chance to pull out a surprise victory. Final minute of stoppage time. No score. Grenada and Curaçao. Kuwas floats it in. And then the volley. They had a look. And that just may take us to the end of this game. Final seconds now. Curaçao with an industrious push late, but could not find that elusive goal. And in the end, Grenada and Curaçao here on match day 3, Group B of League B in the Concacaf Nations League. They end in a 0-0 draw. And it looks like there's a player who needs medical attention here for Curaçao at the final whistle. Looked like a scary situation as a Curaçao player is being dealt with by the medical staff now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the final score, Grenada 0, Curaçao, 0. Thank you for coming to the 2024-2025 Concacaf Nations League at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground. Please arrive home safely.
Well, we take you back through the highlights of this one. A third ever meeting between Curaçao and Grenada. Curaçao with 2 wins in the first 2 meetings, including a 10-0 victory in their first ever encounter in this same competition back in 2018.
And the starting lineup.
Offense would be hard to come by, and offensive chances equally scarce in this game. Curaçao in the first half had the better of the play through about the first 10 minutes or so, but no real genuine scoring opportunities for Grenada. This was their one lone good chance of the first half. And this was right at the end of the first half. An opportunity wasted by Grenada. Just 3 total shots on goal between the 2 teams through the first 45 minutes. But then in the second half, opportunities started to be more plentiful, and the quality chances also were enhanced as well. Check out this series by Grenada, and Eloy Rome in goal for Curaçao had to make a series of sensational saves. Baker John with a pair of very strong shots that had to be stopped. Even from distance, Grenada was threatening. And then Curaçao also creating opportunities off of set pieces. So both keepers were tested, and boy, did they come up big. Also a shot off the fingertips and the crossbar here, keeping it scoreless. And then right after that, Rome, another good save, diving to his left. Curaçao late in the game then. It would be a series of back-to-back saves right here, and then on the rebound that were the best chances of the second half for Curaçao, and really the entire game to get on the board. And it kept us scoreless. And that would take it to the final whistle after 3 minutes of stoppage time. Curaçao and Grenada tying for the first time ever as Grenada gets their first ever points off of Curaçao. And now after 3 matches and reaching the halfway point of group play in this Group B, Curaçao and Grenada both with 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 draw. Curaçao remains in second place ahead of Grenada, which is in third. That's the way they started this match, and that's on goal difference alone, even though their records are identical.